Welcome back, guys. This is my first Halloween tutorial this year, so I'm super pumped. Starting off with some primer, and then I'm going to be putting on foundation. I'm typically using a foundation that is a few skin shades lighter than my actual skin tone because we want to appear dead. So I am making sure that I'm just completely blending it all the way down my neck, kind of making sure it all starts to flow together, and then setting it with a translucent face powder. Now moving on to my eyebrows, I'm just using just a Benefit brow pencil and just filling in the natural shape of my brow. We're not really going too detailed in it. I'm just making sure you can see the brows. I'm applying a eyeshadow primer, just making sure it covers my whole lid as well as the lower lash line area. Now I'm just taking a fluffy blending brush and just using a skin tone flush shade and covering the crease. And then I'm going in with a shade that's a little bit on the cooler tone side and just fitting that in the crease as well. Now I'm just taking a smaller, more defined blending brush and fitting this charcoal gray shade right in the crease. That's going to give it the appearance of like a sunken look. With a smudger brush, I'm just mixing some purples, reds, and then kind of like a bluish purple shade in the lower lash line. Just kind of mimic some darkness, bruising, and then just taking a blending brush and blending out some red just to kind of make the eye more of a realistic bruised look. So I am going in with the blending brush and a red shadow on the crease of the one eye, and then I'm just taking a definition brush and kind of doing a little bit of the darkness in the inner part of my lid just to kind of give it some more depth. And then of course I'm just taking a blending brush and just blending it all out. We're going to do a lot of blending for these bruised looks. That's the key, blending. So I am taking the same blending brush, kind of dipping into some reds and a little bit of purple, kind of spreading the bruise out onto the temple as well as the side of my forehead and then the higher part of my cheekbone, just to kind of mimic a little bit of a more realistic bruise, kind of making sure that it spreads out, and definitely digging the bruise look. I mean, not literally, but you know, as far as makeup wise, yes, loving it. Of course, blending a lot more. Just gonna be playing with that, making sure that I do blend out any of the harsh lines. Had to curl the lashes, and then I'm just applying some mascara on my top lashes, and then my bottom lashes, I am getting a little bit messy, letting it get onto the waterline because I'm going to be blending that out just to give the under eye area a little bit more depth. I'm contouring with Kat Von D's Shade and Light palette, and I'm using more of the grayer bronzer shade. Just kind of getting that in the hollows of my cheeks, not really getting it too precise, just making sure that it's there. Gives me a good dead-like appearance. I know, weird, but that's what we're going for. And then I just kind of highlighted my nose and then kind of highlighted the bruised area on my eye. Just using the Urban Decay 24/7 waterline pencil and just filling in a circle, something pretty small, nothing too big. And that is going to be the start of the bullet hole. Now for the fun part, just taking some toilet paper, and this is what we're going to be using to create the realistic part of the bullet hole as well as the slit in the throat. So as you can see, I'm just rolling a little bit of toilet paper, and I'm taking some black lash glue, applying that on with a Q-tip. Found it's the easiest way possible to apply that, and then just kind of tracing the circle with the toilet paper to kind of make sure that it fits the hole perfectly. I am going back in with my lash glue, making sure that everything adheres properly, and then I'm just going to be taking a Q-tip and going back in with a foundation that I used for my face and kind of filling in the white part of the toilet paper to kind of make it look more skin tone. Now I'm going to take a little bit of some blues, some purples, reds, and kind of make the outer part of the bullet kind of look bruised so it does look irritated. So let's start with the slit in the throat. I'm just kind of marking, making sure exactly how long and how big I want it. I'm using just this Wet n Wild liner, liquid liner, and it actually worked pretty well for that. Going back in with the toilet paper, doing the same rolling effect, and then I'm just kind of piecing it, kind of ripping a little bit of it out, kind of making it look like hanging skin flesh, and then I'm just going to apply the lash glue, making sure that I do get the whole area, and then lining the bottom part of the slit first. As for the top of the slit, I did not do the hanging flesh. I just kind of rolled it up and just started adhering it on the upper part. Now I'm just going back in with the foundation and kind of covering up any of the toilet paper to make it look a little bit more realistic. I am going in with the liner to fill in the black part of the slit. And then going in with the reds, the blues, purples, and kind of making the outer part of the slit look irritated and kind of making sure that it all blends together. Now going in with the blood. I did pick this blood up at Walmart a couple years ago, so I just had it left over, and I'm taking a Q-tip, kind of filling in the bullet hole area as well as the toilet paper that I did place on the forehead, and that does help give it a lot of depth, dimension, and makes it that much more realistic. To create the blood drips, I'm kind of just pressing the Q-tip against my forehead and then just letting it start slowly running. And that was the best way that I thought at first could create the blood drip. And then now you can see I'm going in the throat area and just covering up all of the toilet paper, filling it in and making sure that it looks as real as possible. Then I had the bright idea of pouring blood into one of my spray bottles and kind of just spraying, and that made it much more easier to make the dripping effect. And I highly recommend this route if that's what you want to do as far as making the blood drip. I let a little bit of it run in my mouth. I don't think, it's water-based, so it's not poisonous or anything. And just kind of created another drip, took a Q-tip, lined it in the inner part of my lip to make the blood spread in my mouth, and there you have it, guys. That is it for this tutorial. Let me know what you guys think of this look. It's something that is super easy to recreate, and I'm sure you have a lot of these products on hand already. Like this video if you enjoyed watching, and please subscribe if you haven't already. I'll also list my Twitter, my Facebook page, and my vlogging channel down below. And yes, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.